There's no question that editing videos is probably one of the most time-consuming parts of video creation. And if you're newer to video editing, this can kind of feel like a black box. Like, I don't really know where to start. I don't really know what to do next. And anytime that I start editing, I quickly kind of get overwhelmed and I feel like there's a lot of footage. There's a lot of choices to be made, and it can feel overwhelming really quickly. And if that's you, if that's how you feel, one is you're not alone. That's how a lot of video editors feel, even people that have been working for quite a while. And the big reason is not that editing is such this big, huge, crazy thing, but that it needs a system. And so if you don't have a system to make sure that your editing tasks actually get done and that they're not overwhelming, they're not confusing, and that you don't get lost, then you're kind of setting yourself up for a bad time. You're making things a lot harder than they really need to be. Say you had a whole box of these markers that I'm holding and you wanted to sort them out. Well, here I only have 8 markers, so it's not that big of a deal. But imagine if you had 400 and you were going to sort them out somehow. You would have to pick some way to do it, whether you were sorting them into warm colors and cool colors, or dark colors and light colors, or maybe you want to arrange them like a rainbow. You kind of got to pick a system, or else you're going to kind of be just fumbling around with a lot of little pieces. And the more pieces you have, the more awkward it is. And a lot of the time, this might be how you approach video editing. You throw all your clips and your media into your timeline and you just start messing around. And there's certainly something to be said about just jumping in and kind of getting your hands dirty. But after a while, unless you have a system, you're going to get overwhelmed, confused, and stressed out and not really know what to do next. So today we're going to talk about a couple things. These are just kind of big concepts. They're not hard to remember. They're not difficult. So you can get a little bit more organized when it comes to your editing workflow. So here I have some media. This is from a project that we did a few years ago about how to make Thai iced tea. And it's pretty simple. It is an interview with some high quality audio that we recorded from a separate mic, some fancy B-roll shots. And the idea is that all these pieces will go together to make a fancy video. So the question is, how do you start a video like this without just getting overwhelmed? Like, I mean, I like this shot and I like this shot, and we have the audio here and we have the interview, and we should probably line these up at some point. And do we use the audio from the, you know what I mean? It just like instantly gets confusing. We have all these different tracks and different clips. Well, before we grab anything and put it on the timeline, we're going to start with one major concept. Okay. And that's that we do big things first. You can think about this if you were going to put a bunch of rocks into a jar. You would start with the big rocks and put those in first, and then kind of fit the little rocks down around them. And it's kind of the same concept when it comes to video production. You want your big stuff in there first. Now, that might mean the biggest, longest clip. Oftentimes, that actually is the case, especially when that's an interview. But that interview isn't just important because it's big and long. It's because that generally carries the story and kind of does the heavy lifting when it comes to the information and the message of your video. Something that might be helpful here is what pieces absolutely have to be part of the story. And if you cut them out, it wouldn't make any sense. Those great big pieces, those are the ones that you put in first. And so if we were going to look at this, well, we have a lot of little B-roll shots. And that's nice. But if we miss one of these, it's not that big of a deal. What is a big deal is if we have none of the instructions for how to make Thai iced tea. And those are delivered in this interview. So the very first thing, no matter what, is you got to take the great big piece and put that into your timeline. So we're going to start that with our interview. So I'm going to drag our interview down. And if we play this back,
what to do is put in some ice to cool it down so it won't melt.
We'll notice that the audio isn't that great. And so not only do we want the big pieces, but we want to kind of fix the great big problems too. So this is a great big problem, is that this great big piece is essential, but it doesn't sound very good. So what we're going to do is take this audio and drag this down, because this is audio that actually matches up with the video. Now, when I drag this down here and I play it back,
Recipe Boom!
Make sure to subscribe.
There's a bunch of problems. So we've made an even bigger problem. One is that the audio is only out of one ear. The other one is that it's not in sync with his mouth. So how do we fix that? Well, in Resolve, it's really easy. I can select both the audio and the video that has the on-camera audio. I can select both of these, right click, and say Auto Align Clips. We're going to synchronize this using waveform and then hit sync. What that's going to do is go through and think about all the waveforms, and it's going to align the tracks so that they're all synced up. Now, when we play this back, some of our problems are gone.
Delicious cooking videos for you right here on the internet.
Yes. Okay. So we have this all synced up. It's not as bad as it was, but it still sounds like it's echoey. The reason for that is because we're still playing this kind of echoey on-camera audio. So one thing I could do would just be to select this interview audio, hold Alt, and hit up on the keyboard like that. That's going to move this track up and overwrite it, but it's going to be at the right timing. So now when we play this back,
And today we are going to be making...
that sounds really great, but it's only out of the left ear. Again, there's another big problem. So we're going to fix that. Right here in this track header, if I right click and I select change track type to, let's select mono like this. That's going to put this in a mono track, which is just one channel, and that means it's going to come out of both ears.
Thai iced tea. Can you believe it? I love this stuff.
So now we have the interview and we have the audio, and it sounds good. And honestly, now, if we wanted to, we could just about render this video and people would understand how to make Thai iced tea. Is it the most interesting video in the world? No. But it does get across what we want to get across. So that's the thing. If you're starting your project and you don't know where to start, you don't know what piece you should work with first, always start with the great big piece and fix the great big problems. Here's another big problem. We have 40 seconds of silence at the beginning of this. So let's not do that. I'm just going to select this and hit backspace. That's going to move this down. And really, your problems should get smaller and smaller as you work. You shouldn't have a big problem and then a bunch of little problems and then another big problem. You should do big problems, medium problems, and then by the end, this should be easy. You should be fixing little tiny stuff. And so a medium problem would be that he restarts a couple times.
Let's get one thing out of the way first. Thai tea is delicious.
Great. So we're going to start right there. I'm going to select this and split it at the playhead. You can hit Control / to do that. I'll select this right here and hit delete on the keyboard. That'll move that around. And now we're starting.
Let's get one thing out of the way first.
With the start of the video. So big problems are a great place to start. And if you only have that in mind, you work big to small, your video workflow, I'm telling you, is going to be so much easier. It's going to go so much faster. And if I could only tell you one thing, that's what I would tell you. If I could tell you two things, it's that while you're working, I want you to focus on the audio. Now, what the heck does that mean? Well, audio is the most important part of a video, believe it or not. If you don't believe me, watch a horror movie. Something like The Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity or even like Cloverfield, something like that, where the video is shaky, it's grainy, it's terrible, but you still watch it because the audio helps tell the story. Contrast that with a video that looks beautiful, but the voice is all distorted and it sounds awful. You can only take that for a minute or two before you get up and walk out of the theater. Audio is far more important, both in quality, but also in content. Because think about how easy it is to tell a story with audio. Think about how much of the heavy lifting audio does for your message, no matter what kind of video it is. And especially if we're working on a video like this, where it's primarily driven by this interview, then the entire time, all we're seeing is our buddy Sam talking, which can look nice and help you kind of connect with him, but it isn't necessarily the most interesting thing in the world. What's really, really helpful is that he's explaining things. He's telling you things, kind of like what's happening now. But what I love to do when it comes to this project, or really kind of most, I would say just about most videos, you want to pretty quickly get to a radio edit. A radio edit is what we call something that sounds great. It sounds like it could be on the radio. That means we're cutting out the empty spaces. We're cutting out the filler words like ums and ahs. We're pretty much exclusively focusing on this right here, the waveform. And you can tell a lot about what's going on just by looking at this waveform. Right here, I can tell that there's some kind of sharp sound, probably like a clap or something like that. Look at that. He's clapping his hands. Told you. Here we have this empty space. That means that he's not talking. Maybe he's looking down on his phone trying to figure out what he's going to say next. Let's look. Yep, there we go. And so by looking at this waveform, you can just about tell what's happening, especially in something like an interview. What we'll do a lot of the time, especially when it comes to like a tutorial or something like this, is we won't really care about what the video is. In fact, you could even turn off the video track, which is especially helpful if you're working with super high res footage, like 6K, 8K or something that just destroys your computer. You can literally turn off the video track, but I could select this, right click and say link clips so that these are the same clip and I can move them around like this. But I can go in here and pretty safely split these clips and delete that silence. And I know it's not really going to contribute anything because I don't want to see the video of him looking at his phone, which is probably what's happening if he's not talking. And so go through your video and really just focus on the audio. You don't have to worry about what B-roll you're going to use. You don't have to worry about what things will look like. Just get the audio working. Throw in the big stuff. Make sure the audio works. So you could listen to it and maybe nothing important is happening on screen, but you can listen to it and you understand what's going on. A little hack for this is you can select this clip and go up to Clip in DaVinci Resolve and go to Audio Operations, Ripple Delete Silence, and check this out. It will actually select the silence for you, and you can adjust the settings and everything and how much you want it to cut out and what you consider silence and everything. And you can have it remove all of those silent parts like this and kind of cut that out for you, which is a huge time saver when it comes to interviews. And so now you've cut out all of the empty space here, and we can just focus on the parts where he is talking. Then we can just decide whether a take is good, whether we like one line or another. But this right here, getting this radio edit is so much of the video workflow. And if you can get good at this part, your videos will be interesting and paced well. Because again, for a lot of videos, the audio is what's important and the visual part is secondary. I'm going to give you one last tip, and this is something that I see all the time, especially when people are brand new to video. This will save you literally years, literally years of making mistakes, turning in videos late, getting frustrated, burning out, all of that stuff. This is the number one way to avoid that. And that is to keep your polishing till the end. Okay? Wait until you're almost done with your video to tweak it and to polish it and to make everything perfect. This really kind of goes into the big things first philosophy. Because remember how we started with this great big interview, right? If we went through this interview and we cut it down to be a concise message, let's just say, I'll just kind of mock this up here, okay? By the time we did this, we'll probably have like 50 cuts in this interview here. And we have this sounding great to where you can listen through it and it's beautiful. Then that's when you start putting the B-roll over this. That's when you start picking shots that are beautiful and work for whatever's happening in your voiceover. That's when you take the time to actually track all this stuff down. And make sure that these visuals work really, really well for what you're doing. And they match the music and they do all the things that they're supposed to do. And they're timed right. And you do your sped up fast motion and everything. All of that should happen towards the end of your workflow. Because let's say you spend even 20 minutes working on the intro to your video and you make it look really beautiful. And then you get halfway through your interview and you realize that, there was actually a better intro halfway through the recording that I'm actually going to move to the front of the video. And now all of that polishing and everything that you did to make a perfect intro kind of gets thrown away. And so you have to redo that work. And if you're lucky, what you did sort of works for the new intro, but you still have to go and tweak it. Why not be sure of all of the big pieces before you go in and adjust the little stuff? And this polishing idea not only applies to your edits and everything, but I'm talking about your graphics, your sound effects, your color grades. All of that stuff should be like some of the last stuff you do in your video. Let's say now we have this beautiful intro to our video, and we know exactly how long these shots are. We know all the right pieces and everything that's going to happen in each shot. That's a great time to go to our color page and do the work of making this look nicer. And even with color and graphics and mixing and everything, it's really kind of the same concept here, where we start big and then we work into kind of the smaller detailed things. So even here for color, I want to make sure this shot looks nice, so I'm just going to add a little bit of contrast. Same thing for here. Maybe I'll adjust this shot as a whole, but I'm not getting too picky to start out with. Here's our interview. I want to make sure that my exposure is good and my contrast is good and my saturation is good and everything. I want to make sure that this looks mostly good before I go in and tweak a whole bunch of stuff. Because I can take this color grade and apply it to all of my shots, and then I have a very watchable, very reasonable video that if I need to, I could render it out. And then if I feel like I have time and I want to tweak it, then I can do stuff like, add vignettes or brighten and darken things and do all the fun creative stuff. I know it's not as exciting to keep the fun stuff until the end, but I promise you, you're going to work faster and better and be less overwhelmed, which means you'll be able to make more videos, which means you'll get more experience, which means that you will craft better videos and build your skills to make even more amazing things. And that's the beauty of having a workflow that keeps you confident, where you don't get overwhelmed, you don't get lost. I don't want that for you. I want you to make cool videos. If any of this is resonating with you, let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear your big aha moments, your takeaways, all right? So for your next video, you're on the hook. Big things first, focus on your audio, polish it at the end. And I promise you'll be a lot happier when you do. If you want some help with your video workflow, we are working on some really cool stuff to help you out. There's going to be a link in the description to learn more. So make sure to check it out, okay? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging with me. This was fun. It's a good time. See you later.